I'm Corey. I am the Director of Client Success here at Simpalm Staffing, and I've worked here for about 6 years. So, just our basic hiring process, really top level. We post our job, and then recruiters look for resumes that match those qualifications. We try to keep an eye out for certain things like top universities, San Andres in Argentina or the University of Sao Paulo in Brazil. And we keep an eye out for other things like prior experience with US companies or even people who studied in the US. Once we find out that information and we have a good short list of resumes that feel strong, we'll then send our one-way interviews to the best candidates. So the one-way interview is going to be like a remote video interview that they send back to us. We might do a phone screening if they do well with that, maybe an internal interview as well. And then once we have our favorite candidates, we match those to hiring companies and send their resumes, their profile video screenings that they did with us over to the companies. We make sure to highlight any of their really good strengths, sell them really well, and ideally, we set up interviews with the companies and those candidates. So I think that the one-way video screening really helps to give us a personal look at our candidates. It helps us know a little bit about their personality, who they are, and then it lets us see beyond the resume to their communication skills and their professionalism, which are still going to be things that really give them success at work, especially working with American clients. That these are things that you might not see on the resume, but still are important to work success. Another thing is it allows for spontaneous answers, so we get kind of a closer look at their skills and see how they deal with answering it out of the blue. So when we get an out of the blue answer, it kind of tells us a little bit more about the experience that they have. If they can go into detail out of the blue, that means they've done that for a while. And then finally, it lets us sell them to the candidates. Since we're sending these videos over to the candidate, it usually lets them get a personal look at them, put a face to the name. It makes you more than a number and kind of personifies the candidates for them. Obviously, if we have a specific job in mind, there's going to be specific job qualifications and skills that we're looking for. But in a more general sense, when we're just looking at the video, we're looking for great English skills, the ability to communicate with American clients and colleagues. And like an accent isn't going to automatically cut you out. That's something that's very important to us. Obviously, we're working with people who don't speak English as a first language, but the ability to communicate beyond, even if you have an accent, that's something that we're looking for. So can you present yourself well? Can you speak well? Can you tell us about yourself? Can you be polite? Little things like that. Another thing we're looking for, probably a little bit bigger, is the detailed knowledge of the job skills. So are you able to convey your experience effectively? If this shows their ability to organize the information on the fly, this shows their communication ability, and then also their experience level with the things that these jobs entail, especially for jobs like a VA where it's very general. There's a lot that you can say about, answering emails, managing your calendars, interacting with clients, interacting with founders, etc. So we're looking for them to kind of tell us a little bit about what they've done with that. So poor communication is always a big one. Candidates who don't make an effort to put their best foot forward, make an effort to appear presentable, professional. We understand that you may not have like a perfect office, but having a clean background is always a big sell, because you want to look professional. And if they can't sell their skills to us, they're not going to be able to sell those skills to a prospective employer either. So we're always looking for someone who's able to be confident in the skills that they have and say, this is what I know, this is what I'm able to do. And if they can't do that, that's a sign that they're probably not able to. So a lack of professionalism is really big. And then finally, of course, clearly using AI, a reading from Google, or if we can see that they've been Googling while the recording is going, copying from someone next to them. These are all indicators of dishonesty, which no one wants to hire someone who's dishonest. I think, first of all, our reputation is in the candidates that we put forward. So for Simpalm, if we're not giving out good candidates, that's who we are as a company. I think our goal here is to be Sherpa, to be a guide. So we're trying to not just be we're not just trying to sell clients, but to find a good fit. So we're not just trying to find a random employee, get you another VA from beyond who's nameless. We're trying to place a person. With trying to be consultants, we're trying to find the fit who will actually bring the most value to the company. So when we're talking to a client, we're trying to find out where are your pain points, what do you need so that the candidate that we find for them matches those. So because of all of that, we don't just hire anyone in LATAM who's willing to work because there's a lot of people in LATAM who are willing to work, probably most. But we match companies and their set of needs to experienced, proven candidates who know how to hit that job running because they're ready for that role. I think that's where the bar is and a little bit of why it's there. I think my last words would be definitely record the video because it's always a way to put yourself forward. I was hired because of my video. I got hired in through this process 6 odd years ago, and I was told, my resume was all right, but my video got me across. So oftentimes that can be the thing that gets you in the door. I would always encourage candidates to do the video, and I would always encourage clients to watch the video because you might find something there that you don't get out of a piece of paper.